Welcome to 6 Mind Mapping Techniques that will expand your creativity. Did you know that 75% of people believe they aren't living up to their creative potential? That's a huge number. But here's the good news. Creativity is a skill you can learn and develop. Mind mapping is one of the most effective ways to boost your creativity. It helps you visualize your thoughts and connect ideas in ways you never imagined. Studies show that mind mapping can increase productivity by 20–30%. Imagine getting more done while being more creative. In this video, we'll explore 6 unique mind mapping techniques. We're not talking about the usual stuff. These are methods that will open up new worlds of creativity for you. From tapping into your emotions to using sensory overload, we've got it all covered. By the end of this video, you'll have powerful tools to unlock your creative genius. So, get ready to dive in and discover the secrets of mind mapping that will transform how you think and create. Let's get started and expand your creativity like never before. Chapter 1. The Divergent Web: Unlocking Untapped Ideas. Welcome to the first chapter, The Divergent Web: Unlocking Untapped Ideas. Divergent thinking is a powerful way to expand your creativity. It's about branching out from a single idea to explore multiple pathways. Did you know that according to research, divergent thinking is linked to higher levels of creative performance? Let's dive into this fascinating technique. When you start with one central idea, think of it as a web. From that central point, draw lines outwards to new ideas, no matter how wild they seem. This is the essence of divergent thinking. For example, if your central idea is travel, you might branch out to adventure, culture, food, and self-discovery. Each of these can then branch out further, creating a rich tapestry of ideas. A unique fact: Sir Ken Robinson, an expert on creativity, stated that creativity is as important now in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. This shows the value of nurturing creativity from a young age. As you practice divergent thinking, don't judge your ideas too quickly. Let them flow freely. Judgment can come later when you're refining your ideas. Here's a tip. Set a timer for 10 minutes and challenge yourself to come up with as many ideas as possible. Studies show that time constraints can actually boost creative output. It pushes you to think faster and more creatively. You'll be surprised at how many ideas you can generate under pressure. Another great strategy is to use prompts to spark divergent thinking. For instance, ask yourself, what if questions. What if humans could fly? Or, what if we lived underwater? These questions push the boundaries of your imagination. An interesting statistic: a study by the University of Melbourne found that engaging in creative activities can increase overall job performance by 15%. This shows the real-world benefits of fostering creativity. So, as you map out your divergent ideas, remember that you're not just being creative for fun. It has tangible benefits in your professional life too. Chapter 2. Sensory Overload: Mapping Through the Senses. Now, let's move on to our second chapter, Sensory Overload: Mapping Through the Senses. This technique involves engaging different senses to make your mind maps more dynamic and stimulating. Did you know that incorporating sensory elements can enhance memory retention by up to 75%? That's right, our senses play a huge role in how we process and remember information. Start by using colors in your mind maps. Different colors can evoke different emotions and ideas. For instance, red can signify energy and passion, while blue might represent calm and tranquility. Don't just stick to black and white. Make your map a visual feast. Adding colors helps to differentiate ideas and makes your mind map more engaging. Next, think about incorporating sounds. It might sound odd, but playing background music while you create your mind map can influence your creativity. Classical music or nature sounds can create a calming environment, while upbeat tunes might energize you. Another sensory element is touch. If you're a tactile learner, consider using physical materials like sticky notes or textured paper. Moving these elements around can help you think more dynamically. It's a simple yet effective way to engage your sense of touch in the creative process. Here's a fun fact. According to the book, Brain Rules, by John Medina, people are 65% more likely to remember a task if they pair it with a sensory experience. So, the next time you're mapping out ideas, think about how you can incorporate different senses. Smell is another powerful sense that can influence your creativity. Scents like lavender can help you relax, while peppermint might boost your focus. Try diffusing essential oils in your workspace as you work on your mind map. Lastly, don't forget about the sense of taste. It might not be directly involved in mind mapping, but having a snack or a drink you enjoy can make the process more pleasant. The key here is to create an environment that stimulates all your senses, making the creative process more enjoyable and effective. Chapter 3. Emotional Mapping. Tapping into Feelings. Welcome to Chapter 3, Emotional Mapping. Tapping into Feelings. This technique focuses on using emotions to drive creativity. Emotions are powerful tools that can unlock deep and unique ideas. Research shows that people are 31% more productive when they're in a positive state of mind. Start by identifying your current emotional state. Are you feeling happy, sad, excited, or anxious? Use these emotions as the starting point for your mind map. For example, if you're feeling excited, you might start with that emotion and branch out to ideas like adventure, new projects, or innovation. A unique quote to consider: "Creativity is intelligence having fun," said Albert Einstein. This reminds us that creativity and emotions are deeply linked. When you're emotionally engaged, your creativity can soar. Another technique is to explore contrasting emotions. Start with a positive emotion and then branch out to its opposite. For instance, from joy, you might explore fear and see how these emotions can coexist and inspire different ideas. This can lead to a more nuanced and rich creative process. An interesting fact: a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that experiencing a range of emotions can enhance creative performance. This suggests that embracing all your feelings, not just the positive ones, can be beneficial. Here's a tip: use emotional triggers to fuel your creativity. Listen to music that evokes strong emotions, watch a movie clip that makes you feel something, or read a piece of literature that moves you. These triggers can help you tap into deeper emotional wells and bring those feelings into your mind map. Another strategy is to create an emotion wheel. Start with a central emotion and branch out to related feelings. For instance, from happiness, you might branch out to contentment, excitement, and satisfaction. This helps you explore a broader range of emotions and how they interconnect. Don't forget the power of storytelling. Think about a time when you felt a strong emotion and use that as the basis for your mind map. Personal stories can provide rich material for creative ideas. Reflecting on these experiences can also be a source of inspiration. To sum up, emotional mapping is a powerful technique to boost creativity. By tapping into your feelings and exploring a range of emotions, you can generate unique and profound ideas. So, embrace your emotions and let them guide your creative journey. Chapter 4. Storyscaping. Crafting narratives with mind maps. Let's dive into Chapter 4, Storyscaping. Crafting narratives with mind maps. This technique involves using mind maps to build and develop stories. Did you know that stories are 22 times more memorable than facts alone? This makes storytelling a powerful tool for creativity. Start with a central theme or concept for your story. It could be anything from hero's journey to lost treasure. From this central point, branch out to major plot points, characters, and settings. This helps you visualize the structure of your story and see how different elements connect. A fascinating quote from Joseph Campbell: "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." This idea can be central to many narratives and can spark creative ideas. Think about the fears and challenges your characters might face and how they overcome them. Next, develop your characters. Create branches for each character and explore their backgrounds, motivations, and relationships. This helps in creating well-rounded and believable characters. For instance, from the character branch, you can explore sub-branches like backstory, personality traits, and goals. A unique fact: according to research by Princeton University, our brains sync up when we hear a story. This means storytelling can create a powerful connection between the storyteller and the audience. Use this to your advantage by crafting compelling narratives. Another strategy is to use visual elements in your mind map. Draw sketches of your characters, settings, or key scenes. Visualizing these elements can help you see your story more clearly and inspire new ideas. It makes your mind map not just a planning tool but a creative canvas. Think about the pacing of your story. Create branches for different acts or chapters and outline key events in each section. This helps you manage the flow and ensure your story has a good rhythm. It's like creating a roadmap for your narrative journey. Don't forget to explore different perspectives. What would your story look like from another character's point of view? Create branches to explore these alternative perspectives. This can add depth and richness to your narrative. An interesting statistic: the Harvard Business Review found that storytelling can increase the persuasiveness of your ideas by 50%. This underscores the power of narrative in communication and creativity. Finally, remember that stories are about change. Map out the transformation of your characters and how they evolve throughout the story. This journey of change is what makes stories compelling and meaningful. Chapter 5: Analogous Mapping. Drawing Parallels for Fresh Insights. Welcome to Chapter 5, Analogous Mapping. Drawing Parallels for Fresh Insights. This technique involves finding connections between seemingly unrelated fields to spark creativity. Did you know that some of the best innovations come from this kind of cross-pollination of ideas? Let's dive into how this works. Start with a central idea from your main field of interest. For example, if you're working on a tech project, your central idea might be user experience. Now, think about an entirely different field, like architecture, and draw parallels. How do architects design spaces that are both functional and beautiful? How can those principles apply to your tech project? A unique quote from Steve Jobs: "Creativity is just connecting things." Jobs believed that innovative ideas often come from making connections between different experiences. Analogous mapping is all about finding and exploring these connections. Next, create branches from your central idea that reflect concepts from the unrelated field. For instance, from user experience, you might branch out to flow of space, a concept from architecture, and see how it can enhance user interface design. This method can provide fresh perspectives and innovative solutions. An interesting fact: a study by the University of Michigan found that analogical reasoning can enhance problem-solving skills by 50%. This means drawing parallels can significantly boost your ability to come up with creative solutions. Here's a practical tip: use analogies regularly to train your brain. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to find relevant parallels. For example, compare your work process to something as simple as cooking a meal. What steps can you streamline or improve? Another effective strategy is to look at historical analogies. How did past innovators solve problems? For instance, studying how Leonardo da Vinci applied principles from anatomy to engineering can inspire modern design ideas. History is full of lessons that can be applied creatively today. A statistic to consider: research by the Harvard Business School shows that companies encouraging analogical thinking in their teams see a 25% increase in innovative ideas. This demonstrates the value of this technique in a professional setting. Also, use visual metaphors in your mind maps. For example, if you're working on improving customer service, think about it as a garden. What needs to be planted, initiatives, watered, nurtured, and weeded, problems removed, to thrive? Visual metaphors can simplify complex problems and make them easier to tackle. To sum up, analogous mapping is a powerful strategy to enhance creativity. By drawing connections between different fields, you can uncover fresh insights and innovative solutions. So, start exploring new parallels and see where your creativity takes you. Chapter 6: Mind Map Meditations, Zen and the Art of Creative Flow. Welcome to the final chapter: Mind Map Meditations, Zen and the Art of Creative Flow. This technique combines mindfulness and mind mapping to boost creativity. Mindfulness can help clear your mind and open it up to new ideas. Let's explore how to integrate these practices. Start with a brief meditation session. Even just 5 minutes of deep breathing can calm your mind and prepare it for creative thinking. Studies show that meditation can increase creativity by 25%. A calm mind is a fertile ground for innovative ideas. A unique quote from Jon Kabat-Zinn: "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." This means while you can't stop thoughts from coming, you can learn to manage them better. Meditation helps you focus and allows creative ideas to flow more freely. Next, begin your mind map with a central idea. After your meditation, your mind will be more open and receptive. Choose a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. This tranquility can significantly enhance your creative process. An interesting fact: according to research by the University of Groningen, Integrating meditation into your routine can enhance divergent thinking, a key aspect of creativity. This means you can generate a wider array of ideas. Here's a practical tip. Incorporate mindfulness techniques while mapping. For instance, focus on your breathing as you draw each branch. This keeps you grounded and focused. Also, be present with each idea, no matter how small or big.